Today's episode of FilmRiot is brought to you by Netflix. Today on FilmRiot, more Q&A, but this time with a special guest. Welcome to FilmRiot Mondays. How's it hanging? Huh? To and fro? Can you tie it in a knot?
Can you tie it in a bow?
Exactly. So, since every time we do this, we get such a great response, and I really love the interaction with you guys, I decided to try to start doing mail sack segments more frequently. Maybe even shoot one a week. We'll see. Anyhow, I decided that this next one will include my good buddy, Todd Bruno, and I had you guys shoot over questions for the both of us, but here is a warning. When we shot this, the audio got screwed up. Luckily, we had a backup running, so we can revert to that, but it's kind of crappy sounding. So I was gonna just reshoot it with Todd, but with the holidays coming, there wasn't enough time, and I liked the segment so much that I just didn't want to bury it. So my apologies for the coming audio. I hope you like it in spite of it. It's not too bad, but I just wanted you to know ahead of time. Because I'm that type of guy. Huh? Right? I'm that type of guy.
Hey, you're that type of guy!
Oh, yeah!
Ho!
Hey!
Mail sack, taking a look in Riot's mail sack.
We're dipping into my mail sack yet again. We're actually going to start doing these segments once a week since it's really cool to be able to interact with you guys like this. And this week, as I told you online, we have Todd Bruno here. You guys sent us in a bunch of questions, so let's get to the first one. First question comes from Chris on Facebook, and it says, top 3 movies you would be embarrassed anyone knew you loved. I think 3 might take too long, and I don't have 3 off the top of my head. I don't know about you, but I have 2 off the top of my head that I could say. And that's, one is Wild Wild West with Will Smith, which is terrible, I know. And the second one, which, just to explain, I know it's a terrible movie, and I don't actually like the movie. It's just when I first saw it with my lovely lady person, I didn't hate it. Like I left it, I was like, it wasn't that bad. It's Wedding Planner with Jennifer Lopez.
No! No!
With that terrible line of, someone once told me, if you take the brown ones. With Matthew McConaughey being his most obnoxious ever, I think. Yeah. I saw it again a few years later because I was like, it wasn't that bad. What are you guys talking about? And I saw it again, and then I realized how terrible it was. So I don't know if this is really answering what you, but yeah, I liked it when I first saw it.
I actually have one that relates to that.
Which is?
And again, I'm totally embarrassed to say this, but Sahara? Matthew McConaughey?
I like it too.
You like it too?
I like it too, so that's 3.
Wow.
I like it too.
I kinda liked it.
Did you?
I did.
I wonder, I guess we'll have to wait to see when this comes out and see if we're absolutely torn to shreds over that movie or not, to see if that was a valid embarrass. But yeah, I'd never tell anybody. I think I own it.
Do you?
I think.
Wow.
I'm not sure. My DVD collection's ridiculous. I'm not sure if it's in there or not, but I think it is. And I'm always like hoping nobody asks. I'm like, oh, Sahara? I don't remember. I don't think I saw that.
Yeah, I think
so. I am embarrassed about it, whether or not. So I had 3.
The only other one I can think of is The Time Traveler's Wife. For some reason, I like it. It's Rachel McAdams. It's not Eric Bana. No, don't look at me like that.
Wait,
That's worse than The Wedding Planner.
time traveler's wife.
That's what did I say?
Time Traveler's
Time
Wife.
traveler. Yeah.
He's just.
No,
Time Traveler's
I'm
Wife.
just making sure
Yeah.
that's what you're saying.
I don't know if we want to keep him around or not.
That's concerning, actually.
No, Rachel McAdams has some moments in that.
I love Rachel McAdams, but not enough to like Time Traveler's Wife.
Well,
In fact, I watched it with my wife, and we shut it off.
Really?
She didn't even like it. She was like, "This is stupid." And in the book, doesn't he go back in time and himself?
I believe so, yeah. And then it causes a paradox that destroys, hopefully, the entire production.
Are you sure you want to put that into the universe?
No, it's too late. We already have it recorded. He has no say in the matter. How do you get over writer's block? I'm writing an action script, but I almost always become brain dead. Any ideas? I don't get writer's block because I don't allow it. I mean, I know you're a writer too because you can speak to this too, but I've never had writer's block. I just do it. Even if most writers you'll hear, most professional writers will have something that they call a vomit pass, which is you get the idea and you just vomit it onto the page. You just do it. Because the only block you need to get over is you and the intimidation of the blank page. So just start writing. Even if it's garbage, just start writing. And once you get through a draft, then you can go back and throw away everything you don't like. But now you have all this material to work from, so it looks a lot less daunting. So I think there's writer's block, meaning you are the block. I don't think there is any kind of like oh, my brain's shut off and I can't. You just
Yeah.
start.
What you're saying is there's no like external force that's
Yeah.
blocking you. It's
No.
yourself. You have to get out of your own way.
Right, exactly.
What I usually do, and that's happened a couple times. It doesn't happen very often, but I will usually get in my car and drive. Actually,
I take a shower. It's
Okay.
sexier. Another thing that I do is I'll start writing something else. Like if I am having trouble on a script, I'll start writing something else, and it usually frees me up on the other one for some reason. I don't know why.
I think the main thing is to get your mind focused on something else, and in order to let the ideas that want to come in.
Right.
So whatever that other thing is, that's what I think is the main thing. I drive because when I drive, I usually start talking to myself about stupid stuff, and that's when
And people think you're crazy.
Yes.
Yeah. So I guess what we're saying is get out of your own way. Throw away this idea of writer's block. You know, convince yourself that it doesn't exist because it doesn't. You are the block. So just start writing. John wants to know, what is the average budget for a film, indie? So I guess what the average budget for an indie film, and the answer to that is there is no average budget to any film. It depends on what the film calls for. There's two ways to do it. One, there's a set amount of money that you can get your hands on, and then you make the money with that budget in mind. And you know what you have to work with, so you work around that. Or two, you have the script and you create a budget for it. You go through and see what things you're going to need, and you price out who you're getting and all that, and then you go for the budget that you need to make that film. But there is no such thing as an average. I mean, a romantic comedy is going to cost a whole lot less than a sci-fi action film. So it depends on what you're doing. There's no such thing as an average.
Yeah, I think technically the term indie doesn't have anything to do with the budget.
Yeah, it just means you're independent from the major studios. So if you're on your own, you're indie. Which actor would you want to work with the most on a feature? I like that question. That's a good question. I'm gonna throw it to you. Who would you most like to work with on a feature? Where it's from an actor standpoint, like who would you like to work across from most?
Besides Rachel McAdams, Billy Crudup, I think, is fantastic.
He's great.
Yeah.
Nice blue package he had there in The Watchmen.
Yes. Yes. And oddly
Couldn't
enough,
give him underwear.
that wasn't visual effects. That's actually his package.
We're not talking about FedEx, friends. I would have to say mine would be Joseph Gordon-Levitt. What about you, Josh, behind the camera? I'm gonna say Joseph Gordon-Levitt. Am I right?
Either him or Leonardo DiCaprio.
Oh.
Oh yeah.
See, I would rather Joseph Gordon-Levitt because I'm a coward, and I would be wicked intimidated to work with
Terrifying.
yeah, Leonardo DiCaprio. This person's talking to Todd specifically, and he says, Todd, as an actor, what do you want to get from a director to help you perform your role?
Mainly, communication is probably the most important thing. It's what I look for most in a director, or in my relationship with a director. The better you can communicate with each other, the more effective I can be in helping you get the shot that you're looking for.
Right.
I think that's the top.
Yeah, and one thing I always try to do as a director is just an encouraging pat on the butt after every take.
I do appreciate that. Was number 2 actually.
Yeah.
I was gonna,
And then I only a pat, and then if it's really good, I add a little, you know what I mean?
right.
So
But
then they're like, wow,
exactly. Yeah.
I just did a great take.
But you don't do that on day 1. It has to be like.
No, on day run, it's a rub.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
It's a nice little butt rub. You have to earn the pat.
Exactly.
I just realized that it says Ooper.
Because this is going to be an uber good segment. I'd like to know if acting with CGI objects, for instance, a monster, is easier than acting with real people.
No. Not by any means.
Yeah.
It's always easier to act with a real person.
Yeah, because you're getting no reaction. You have to build everything yourself. We do a lot of times with FilmRiot. It's not CGI, but we have such a small crew sometimes that we're running gun that the actor that we're supposedly talking to is behind the camera, running the camera.
Right.
So we're literally acting with nothing, with no one. And then we're doing our lines, and then that actor's lines, and then back to us again.
Right.
Which you've done.
Yes.
So
Yes.
it's definitely not at all easier.
No.
Especially if it's like comedy. Because
Oh,
comedy
yeah.
is all reacting.
Yeah.
Next question, which isn't really a question, on Twitter is, you make me happy. I love you and your shows. Ugh. With over 23 million members, Netflix is the world's largest subscription service, instantly streaming TV episodes and movies over the internet. For one low monthly price, Netflix Unlimited members can instantly watch thousands of titles on a vast array of devices, streaming TV episodes and movies like Microsoft Xbox 360, Sony PS3 game console, and the Nintendo Wii console. Watch as many movies as you want anytime you want. You can cancel anytime too. For a limited time, you can get a free 30-day trial by going to netflix.com/FilmRiot and signing up now. Be sure to use this URL so they know we sent you and you can get your free trial on.
Logo.
Awesome, cool, yes, good, thanks. The end. Thank you again to all you classy people who sent in the questions. We'll be doing it again very, very soon, so Twitter for the reading of posts that get posted, and guess what comes after that? Can you? No? Bam! Facebook. How you like them apples? Okay, kids, adults, and kittens, I will see you on Thursday. So until then, be safe and make some cool stuff. Timothy wants to know, how can I influence my actors to kiss each other even if they don't want to? Alcohol?
Box of candy?
Roofie?
Lollipop.
Gun? Gun.
Gun.
Gun. And for our last question, we're back on Facebook, and it says, how do you create your titles? Nope, that wasn't it. Oh, there it is.